Hey guys, Delahan here of Another Cast. This is of the ESL number 7, the European Final, Game 1 between Bhruic and Legion. So I wanted to watch this because I want to see, I want to see Bhruic's playstyle. Off the bat, I'm already really interested in his elite loadout. He's got Storm Boys with Suicide Bombers, Zapnoggin with his Presence ability, and Beauty with the custom force fields. I've been using that a little bit myself, having some fun with it. And then he has the Rocket Barrage on tank buses. So I heard he did a little bit of stuff with the Storm Boys with their Scrap Bomber, which I've seen do massive damage, so I can imagine how he's actually using that. He's kind of something I've been meaning to try, but haven't done it yet, because I don't like Storm Boys. And then Legion has Vendra, Diomedes, Deathwatch, blah 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 blah, nothing too exciting there. Improved listening posts, rapid drop pods, and interesting seeing both the drop pods and the standard cooldown reduction. That's interesting. The drop pod one's actually really powerful. The standard one's really powerful, but usually you don't see them together. Not that there's anything wrong with it. It's just usually there's other doctrines. No tireless, which is what I find kind of fascinating. So this barracks placement pretty forward here. Gonna get the servitor killed by this boys squad. I think Bhruic's in a good position just to like attack this. He doesn't have a log. Okay, there's a log tower coming up. He's focused on the bottom of the map though, so it's kind of strange. I think these boys need to go home. This power generator is going to be really hard to defend with the Space Marine presence there. So I would like to see Bhruic get this elite point generator up. And that way he can control the middle of the map a little bit. And then he can control the bottom. Getting elite point generator up would also be useful for getting Beauty out a little quicker. Which I have a feeling would just outright end this game if it ever happens. Because there's not a whole lot Space Marine's going to be able to do against that. So you have Assault Marines coming out from Legion, which is kind of a different playstyle. Usually you don't see Assault Marines as much, although they are really strong in this matchup, so there's very good reason to get them. But we just got 3 boys from Bhruic. We got 2 Assault Marines coming from Legion. And he's going for like a really early harass on the shield gen. I think if you're going to do this, get to hype them up to do the bonus damage. And this listening post down here is going to get finished with double wreck gens, so this is pretty scary. Assault Marines are kind of just chasing these Gretchens around. Gonna take a shot from that turret there. That's kind of a whiff on the micro. But, and using the Assault Leap to get out of there. So, that was pretty good. Damage on the Assault Marines for free. This Assault Marine squad spawning in on these boys. Again, using the shout would be really good here for doing a lot more damage. He's gonna bait them into the listening post. And I don't think he needs to worry about it. He just needs to stick on the shield gen. Ideally, he can stay here long enough to get this drop pod scrap, but I don't know if that's gonna work out for him so much. We do have some shooters out there just waiting for scrap here. Nothing has scrap, so I'm not... He just built... Oh, I see. He built the log tower after he built this first. Oh, that's interesting. I don't know about this. He's forced Bhruic to kind of burn a lot of his abilities. He used the drop pod and the standard. But his shield gen's being attacked and he's nothing defending it. I think he could have snuck these Gretchens in a little earlier. Economically speaking, I think it's pretty even. There's an extra wreck gen for Legion. These boys are overextended here, though. They need to go back and reinforce. Using log here would actually be really good to try and pressure the shield gen a bit more. Just letting these Assault Marines do their thing, though, is real bad. And sending the shooters of all units this way is just not the response you need to do to this. He's just going to lose these shooters while he's not paying attention to them. So we're seeing a log tower coming up here, and that's the beauty shield of the log tower. It makes them really hard to counter a good log play. So yeah, the shooters took the long way around, kind of took some damage for free. I'm a bit disappointed in that. Bhruic needs to be using shout here, though. I'm really disappointed he's not using that to get the bonus damage in. And he's got these guys with log. He's interested in going up towards the middle. I don't know about that. I think he needs to commit to the shield gen. But we do got Storm Boys ready to come out. And these Assault Marines are forced off. We do have a 3rd Assault Marine coming out. Yeah, 3 Assault Marines is pretty heavy on the Assault Marines. I think that's pretty easy to counter. You just mix a Luda in with all these boys. A Luda or 2, and you can just shoot them all down. Or you just get some, get a power gun, get some upgrades. So we're seeing, I would like to see this elite point generator too, actually. That would be really good. He is not getting the Storm Boys right away, which means he's probably saving up for the Weird Boy, which is not a bad choice against these Assault Marines, actually. I just want to see Bhruic using a bit more shout. Use this walk in, go pressure the shield gen while his units aren't there. He's one Assault Marine to defend this, but it's not going to work against this. So he can just use shout and log and just literally kill him. So again, the Assault Marine's going to harass his power gen. That was to be expected. It's really annoying to deal with that on this map. But he is going to try and go for the shield gen, which is the mistake here. He needs to use shout, though. Please use... Okay, he used shout here, which is good. I don't know how well he timed it. You usually want to start it 6 seconds before. We do have Death Watch coming down. This is going to be really annoying, actually. I think he kind of missed his window to really do this kind of push, because he's taking extra damage from the debuff, and then the Flamer just did massive damage, and Death Watch could just back up a few steps and continue. What? You need... No, you need to go in there. No, okay. This is bad for Bhruic. He's going to lose his shield gen, and he's not going to kill this shield gen either. So I think he needs to back these boys off, and I think he needs to get a Daka Hut up and start getting some Ludus and some truck. Use the truck to kind of keep these boys reinforced, and to bomb the boys to disrupt them. So he's going to take a ton of damage. He's going to lose a boy squad here, I think. Unfortunately, I kind of accidentally panned the camera there. One boy's down. Might lose a second. No, Assault Marines aren't committing to it. Assault Marines should have committed to it, I think. I think he could have jumped in there, killed a couple guys, jumped back out. So Weird Boy's going to hit the field, I think. Again, I really want to see this elite generator. Now that he's built all these generators, it gets exponentially more expensive. So well, I don't know if it's exponential, actually. But you really want to build that elite point generator, like, as soon as possible. You don't want to be building it in the mid-game, because you'll be paying way more for it. Also, no upgrades from either player. I would like to see Longo Wog, like, ASAP for Bhruic. That would be really hot. We are seeing a Daka come up here. I don't like this positioning because it kind of constricts traffic in this area. I would prefer to maybe put it up top, and then that way when your Ludus spawn, they can sit up top on the high ground and shoot down on people. But I don't know. That's fine, I guess. At least it's facing the right way, so units can actually spawn and fight dudes. So he has the option here. He can get a Luda, which I think is what he should do, or he can get a Tank Busta and try and pressure the shield gens. I think the way to go here is the Luda. This arsenal is a bit far forward. I don't really get the point in putting it up here. Just put it in your base where they can't hit it. Like, it gives you some vision. Again, Assault Marine's up here, so this is bad for Legion. Half his army is away, and he's been attacked here. We're seeing the Weird Boy. I think that was kind of a waste of Fist of Gork, honestly, because it didn't really actually accomplish anything. So I think that was a bit of a waste of it. He should actually upgrading this resource point would be pretty good to do as well. I like how he's pulling back for the log. That's the smart move. He doesn't get tank busters, so he does want to get a shield gen at any cost, which I think he's going to be able to do because he has the army presence up here. We do have infantry health level 1 coming out for Legion, which is a pretty good choice with these Assault Marines. He is jumping right in here. I don't quite understand the intent with this because he doesn't have power swords. Maybe he's just hoping to DPS it down without them. I mean, he might be able to do it. This shield is working. So I think this is going to force Bhruic to come defend, and he does. He does have Wog. Again, no longer Wog. That's going to run out in about 3 seconds or so. So it's not actually going to help him much here, but I think these Assault Marines they're actually going to die a very painful death. So yeah, the Wog ran out, but he's still got enough army here. I think he can just do this. And he's going to shoot the Fist of Gork about here, and they're just going to get hit. I didn't watch a replay, I just knew that. Okay, so yeah, that's all those Assault Marines dead. So now he's in a good position to attack both these shield gens. Good job pushing in here, and he's going to do a ton of economic damage here because there's nothing defending this. He could activate Wog on this tower for the beauty force field. That would be really smart, but I don't think he's going to do it, unfortunately. That would buy him a lot of time to defend it, but I don't think he's aware of that function of the ability. So unfortunately, I think he lost both his Wog towers, and I think honestly he could lose these generators as well if he doesn't get more units down here real fast. So killing his barracks is the smart way to go because it's going to stop all these Assault Marine production. And as far as I can tell, Legion does have one servitor, so he doesn't have any production other than attacks right now, and that's going to really limit his options. He does almost have enough lead points for Diomedes, but I'm not sure how Diomedes is going to really help here. He might synergize well with the ASM. This Ludus squad is going to be a real pain for Diomedes, though. Deathwatch teleporting out is kind of smart to do. It's a really powerful ability Deathwatch has. It actually keeps him very relevant. So the way to do this, I think, is to use Deathwatch and then call Diomedes in on top of him in the middle of a fight when the Orks are busy fighting. But he's really committed to putting his listening post. So I think Legion might have actually... No, he did build another servitor base. Okay, so he built another barracks. And so far, I think Bhruic just needs to concentrate his forces. Again, not using the shout ability is triggering me so hard. It's 50% more damage. You just have to get to level 2. It only takes like 3 or 4 seconds. It is so worth doing. But, whatever. So Diomedes can hit the field. Finally, we're seeing this lead point generator. Probably cheaper than we saw it before just because of the generators being destroyed, but still more expensive than it would have been, and less effective than it would have been if he would have built it early in the game when he controlled the map. It's always worth getting a lead point generator if you have map control, regardless if you actually want it. It's a good job using the Weird Blaze shield to keep these guys alive. That's it's not the best shield in the game. It's only 225, so it's kind of mediocre actually for what it is, but it's also pretty short cooldown. Going for like a really risky harass. We do have power swords out, which is one of the only arguments. He is getting infantry health too, which is I like. I like to see people getting upgrades. We do finally have a pile of guns coming up. He has infantry health 1 and Longa Wog queued, so this is a really late upgrades in my opinion. But this is going to do a ton of damage. And the Weird Blaze, I think, is just going to barely get away here. And I think Diomedes is in a bad position, because Diomedes can't deal with shooting guys very well. So, seeing some more harassment here, which is good. But, I don't know, I feel like Legion's way too committed to this Assault Marine spam. I find that a really interesting way of playing Space Marines. It does work really well with Diomedes, but this Death Storm is kind of unfortunately misplaced, a little too far back, so the turret's going to kill it. It is going to do a ton of damage, though, to these units. And I think, yeah, Deathwatch and Deathwatch is for certain. Oh wow, that's actually a really good grenade, debuffing all these orcs. But he doesn't have much to take advantage of it. He could use the standard here and just tank all this with Diomedes. Oh, he just barely manages to keep Deathwatch alive in melee, but he has nothing. I don't know where his Assault Marines are. I think he's just gonna try and go for some cheese on this turret, maybe. Oh, we do have knobs out, so that's gonna really counter Diomedes, unfortunately, because he's just gonna get taunted and then he won't be able to do anything. Not getting micro to dodge the grenades is also pretty bad, but at this point I think Legion's, yeah, he's going in for the all-in. Well, not really an all-in because half his army's in his base, been AFK. So I would say he was gonna go for an all-in, but he's kind of missed his opportunity. He might be able to kill this turret, but we do have rocks in play. We do have a massive orc army, so I think he needed to concentrate his Assault Marines and just go for the maximum burst damage he could. And instead, he's kind of just going to trickle in. And this one Assault Marine squad, I think he just forgot about completely. It's been standing there. So at this point, Bhruic can just start pushing the base. He can just use the Tank Buster Barrage and the Squigs to solo this turret without any defense. At least this Assault Marine squad has finally been used. And I think at this point, the game is firmly in Bhruic's hand. I'm disappointed we haven't really seen the Suicide Bomber with the Scrap upgrade just yet. He's probably going to do it to his turret or something, but I'm a little disappointed I haven't seen it yet. Using the Squig against infantry is not the way to do it. You want to use it against the structures. But it does okay, I guess. It's not the best. You're better off. I'm probably just building more Assault Marines here. Yeah, look at all these Assault Marines. This is just pure Assault Marine spam. I'm not sure if that's really the way to play this, but it's working okay. He's going for like the gambit, and it's not gonna work for him. Yeah, like that's he should have. You always have to bait Mass Recall and Power Core Shelter before you really go for that kind of suicide attack, because otherwise you're just gonna die. And now he's 2 ASMs down. Now he has Mass Recall on cooldown for 5 minutes. So he only has a 45-second shell to really save himself. But at this point, I think we are the game is firmly in Bhruic's hands. He just needs to finish the game. He does have a ton of power, so I would like to see more upgrades. He kind of just forgot about upgrades after he got his first 2. And yeah, same thing here. We don't have... Oh, we do have infantry damage too. That's not bad. So I like to see Legion getting upgrades. That's pretty nice. And he's got to keep in mind, jumping these guys in is going to be a little bit risky because they don't have any escape once they jump in. So I think at this point, while Bhruic's kind of AFK his army and base, trying to be really defensive, I think this is when you start killing his infrastructure. You kill his production structure, or you need to kill the stuff on the map while he's in his base playing pussy, so to speak. But instead, he just walked by everything. He's going for the shield gen. I guess that's a good move. he's gonna be able to snipe that in a few seconds, and that's gonna give him a lot of extra resources. But this is the mistake. Going in here is a critical mistake. This is suicidal. In fact, I don't really get the logic there. I think Legion had a lot of potential to do some really good backdooring potential, where he just attacks where Bhruic isn't, or force Bhruic to stay cowering in his base while he kills his map presence. But instead he got a little too greedy. He should have just took that shield gen, run back here, killed this, killed all this, killed this. And instead, I think this game is just pretty much over. I'm just gonna zoom in because this is done. And unfortunately, not really seeing anything too crazy interesting, actually. Just seeing some really silly Assault Marine play. I do like the idea of backdooring. I just think it was done a little too aggressively. And again, this way, don't build your arsenal somewhere where they can find it. He is getting tier 3 upgrades, so he's tier 3 and getting tier 3 health. And we do see he's going for the all-in on the base, but again, he has the power core shelter, so again, you need to bait that out before you go in for the all-in like that. So you needed to harass it a bit more. And now Orks are just going into the base and doing a ton of burst damage to the power core. And he did use the shield, but I don't know. I mean, he will be able to defend this, but now his power core is at pretty low health. Oh, granted, regenerated relatively quickly. And the weird boy just shoots at it. So he's actually going to kill a power core with beauty. One fist does it, and that's GG. Alright, I'll see you guys at game 2.